Ooh, here we go again.
Morning, everyone.
And good afternoon.
Good afternoon from China and good morning from the UK. You can start off by introducing yourself, Anna.
Yes, thank you, Tracy. So my name is Anna Thellmann. I'm a sexual intimacy expert, and I help women to get their orgasm back by getting out of their head and into their knickers. What about you, Tracy?
My name is Tracy Kimberg, and I'm a relationship expert, and I also am a teenage therapist. So what I do is I help people understand the importance of having a healthy relationship, first of all, with themselves, and then that can branch out into having healthier relationships with the people around them, especially their partners. Today we have
Beautiful.
it's Anna's turn to choose the subject, which I'm very excited about. And I can't wait
Yes.
to hear. She's got a naughty twinkle in her eye today, so I'm excited to see what that's all about.
I thought today I would like to talk to you about those thoughts like, I'm not in the mood, can't be asked, or here we go again, which I hear that a lot from my clients. And I just guess that you hear that maybe from your clients as well.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah. And so I would like to explore, where does it come from? What is the reason for having these thoughts, and what can we actually do to overcome them?
I love this subject, Anna. I love this subject. For me, I often notice that with my clients, it's your inner talk in your head and what you perceive to be the expectation of your partner. And, I think expectations are often quite toxic in a relationship because a lot of the expectations are unhealthy, but it's about your perception of your partner's expectation.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes people get that completely wrong. What do you think?
Yes, I think expectations are best left outside the door. When you come home, leave them outside the door and then go inside. And usually my experience is when you have expectations, you end up being disappointed. So let's not do that. And what I find with my client, it's quite often, like you said, it's in your mind. It's some thoughts, expectations, but sometimes it's also that you feel insecure and you might not know what you want. So you're not getting the sexual experience that you actually want. And why would you do something that doesn't pleasure you in the way you want it to? So it's this reward thinking that we humans have. We do stuff because we want a reward for that.
I think you're so right. I also think there's quite a misconception out there about the different stages of relationships. In the beginning, when there's a lot of passion and you can't wait to tear each other's clothes off type of passion, you're kind of just going with whatever goes, and there's not a lot of verbal, or maybe there is, I don't know. For the people listening, I'd love to hear what your experience was in the beginning of your relationship, as you didn't really have those feelings of, oh my god, here we go again, and I'm not in the mood, and not tonight, and oh, I don't really feel like I'm in the mood right now. But as you get older and your relationship matures, I think for some reason we stop asking and explaining to our partner what we need to feel satisfied, whether it's how much intimacy and sex we need, or how little, or how we like it, how we don't like it. We become very silent. And in my experience, if I can help couples get their voice, find their voice, and do it in a way that comes from an assertive, emotionally mature way where they actually acknowledge and advocate for their own needs and wants, this is where the magic starts happening. What do you think,
Yeah.
Anna?
My experience is similar. So I find at the beginning of a relationship, yeah, you take off your clothes constantly, you have sex 5 times a day, and you also don't say what you want or need, and you let a lot of things slip, just like, yeah, well, he does that, she does that, it's okay. And you're how do you say that, the border of tolerance, there's
Yes.
probably a better word for that, but your tolerance is much bigger, and the longer the relationship lasts, the smaller it gets, and you come to the point where, yeah, I didn't say it then, I can't say it now because I should have, or you might even not think about it that I should say something. I also have women who just give up and say, well, this is how it is. It's a natural progression of the intimacy in relationships, because that's what you hear from your girlfriends, from maybe your parents, even from the media, that at the beginning a lot of passion, and with the time it all goes away. But
Yes.
that's not true, is it?
No, it isn't. And I think it's actually sad that a lot of people just settle with that preconceived or assumption.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, the healthy relationships with a healthy sex life and a very satisfying sex life is the couples that are able to actually teach their partner how to love them and to be confident in themselves enough, or to be wanting to be a good lover to their partner as well. And if you are are going to allow yourself to do that within a relationship, then this is where it becomes easier and easier to actually talk about those things in the bedroom, as you said earlier. Talk about the stuff that makes you feel good, talk about the stuff that makes you feel less good, so that your partner understands your sex language, let's call it your sex language.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And how you need them to show up for you in bed, and what you like and what you don't like. Because it's hard for me. For instance, I was married for 25 years, and when I had a new partner, there were certain things that I didn't want at all, because it gave me this trigger or whatever. So I was able to say to my partner, no, this is I can't be doing that, sorry. And it's about being open and honest about those types of things that might trigger you or make you shut down, because it's all about the foreplay. And if the foreplay isn't happening properly, then the lotus flower is not going to open, is it? And the same for a man. If he's not getting the foreplay that maybe he needs, he can't enjoy himself either. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think it's really a personal thing. What do you like? How long, how short is your foreplay, or do you need it to be? Because we're all so different. So we can't just take, oh, my ex-girlfriend, she needed 2 minutes. So now you need 2 minutes. I give you those 2 minutes. But you need to say, hey ho, look at me. I need 15 minutes. I need an hour, whatever it is. We're all so different, and we can't just go from one experience and take that with us and say, now all women, all men are the same.
No, exactly. That's so true. And I also find that people need to remember that every time is different. It depends on how stressed you are, how tired you are, how connected you and your partner are at that point in time. Sometimes one couple will need 3 minutes of foreplay, and in another day, an hour.
I didn't get that.
Oh,
could you try again?
Sorry, that's my Apple Watch. But but you know, at the end of the day, it's about being in attunement with each other so that you can understand your partner's needs at that point in time, whether it's through body language, communication, you know, whatever it is. What do you think is important to look at when it comes to reading where your partner's at? We've got Ray Young in here. He says, "Good day." Hi, Ray. Thanks for joining. What do you think your partner needs to understand, and how can we improve that connection to understand and read where your partner's at any given moment?
Well, I'm an advocate in talking. Just ask. I know many of us have this fear of, oh, if we talk, we kill the mood, or if we laugh, that's not the right place to do so. But I'm a big advocate in just asking, how are you now? Are you ready? Can we do this now? Can we do that? Or just say, I'm ready now. Let's do that. And depending on the mood, because I know for myself, the mood really depends on my cycle. Sometimes I just want to have sex, and sometimes I want to have the flower power. But my partner, I find it so hard sometimes to read other people, particularly when it's about the passion and, oh, what is it saying now? And it's confusing, and you get in your own head. So it's just like, just ask the question, or communicate. Where are you now? What do you want to do next? It's okay to talk.
It's so true. So true. And also, I know we are sexual beings. We are humans. We are sexual beings. And sometimes it's about getting out of your head and just going with it and enjoying yourself and allowing yourself to just let go and let the nature take its course, and allow yourself to enjoy what you're feeling, allow yourself to tune into your partner, how they're responding. And if you're able to do that without thinking too much about what should I say now, what should I do now, about just going with what feels right in the moment, that can sometimes turn into something quite beautiful and very, very satisfying if you allow yourself to just let go.
I want to say to that there are also people who don't know. They don't know what they don't know. Yeah. So, and I had a boyfriend once, and he said to me, I don't know how to turn you on. I don't know what to do with you in that sexual department. Exactly. And don't take that personally. I took it personally at the time, because I thought, why don't you try to read me? Why don't you try to figure it out? Why don't you just try stuff? But he was so shy, and he didn't want to do anything wrong. He didn't want to disappoint me. He didn't want to embarrass me. So he didn't know. He was just too scared. And after a while, I said, okay, I take over. I tell you. I just tell you now. And then you do what you think it means, and then we go from there. And it worked. So he was thankful, actually, for me giving him directions to say, this is what I like. Do you like it as well? Try it. If you don't like it, we try something different. There are many things that I like, so we can have a bit of fun here.
Yes.
And it gave him the safety to say, okay, first of all, I can be open. I can tell her my insecurities. I can tell her that I don't know what to do. And, I can build up that trust that she is going this way with me. She's helping me. And I think that's also a big thing, this building that trust, that you can be honest with each other, even if it's something, because quite often I feel like we are so scared to tell someone if we don't like something. particularly if we see that that person enjoys that a lot and they think, oh my God, when is he or she finished with it?
Yeah. That's so true. I think
and then just having that courage and trusting your partner to say, it's okay, you can tell them, even if they might be offended at the time, that will pass. It's not set in stone that now it's never going to happen again, or there isn't an alternative to it, or some other way of enjoying sex together.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's so true. We talked a bit in the beginning about not being in the mood and feeling like, these feelings of, oh, here we go again. I think sometimes people have already decided before they've tried. And whether it's because you're overstressed or overworked or have had a bit of an argument earlier in the day with your partner, what the reason is, that actually doesn't even matter. It's about allowing yourself to reconnect with your partner, because having sex or intimacy with your partner is a way to connect. And men and women work very differently in that regard. A woman often, well, I'm not going to make an assumption or say everyone's the same, but in general, women are emotionally, they need emotional connection first, where men work the opposite way. They need the sexual connection, and then the emotional connection automatically happens. But when you're with your partner and things aren't feeling connected, you're feeling disconnected, sometimes being willing to try and have sex with your partner is a way to reconnect, because it's such an intimate thing to do together that when you're able to do that, it sometimes opens the door to communication, whether it's afterwards lying in each other's arms, whether it's knowing that you've both had the most amazing experience, you've both had an orgasm, you're feeling really great, where you feel, okay, we still have this, so we can get through whatever it is we're getting through. And to use that in your relationship to help you get through difficult times as well. And as you know, Anna, it's a very good reliever of stress. So, use that to your advantage in your relationship if you are going through a lot of stress. Help each other out, help each other through it.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you the question. What would you tell your clients if the partner they have, the sex they have with their partner is rubbish?
Well, I would ask them why they haven't done anything about it. Because, first of all, what does good sex look like to them in their head? I have had this in the past where, sometimes men who watch porn or something have the wrong idea about what sex is supposed to look like or feel like. It's about understanding first what they perceive to be good sex and clarify that. Is that realistic? Is it unrealistic? I also have clients, women that have been with a partner for years and never had an orgasm because they're too stressed out or whatever, they can't. But figuring out what is the backstory first, and then helping each other understand each other's backstory so that you can create a new level of intimacy. And a lot of the time, people that aren't having good sex means that they are far too much in their heads, in their own heads in that moment, and they're not focused on pleasure. They're focused on, am I performing well? Is my partner enjoying this? Very insecure type of reasoning going on in their heads. And to reprogram their inner talk while they are having sex, while they're having foreplay. How are they talking to themselves in that moment? What are they saying to their partner? Are they just being a rag doll in bed, or are they actually participating? There's so many factors that are important to remember in that, but it is possible to change that. That's the
Yes.
bottom line.
Yes, definitely. I agree. There is definitely a way to, particularly when you know what you want, like you said, finding out what each other wants and then communicating that and doing the first step. It's always the first step that is the hardest. But when you see that, oh yeah, this is actually working, we can communicate, we can do this, we can find pleasure on both sides. That's amazing.
It is.
And
it is.
What I also found with some of my clients, what helped them to overcome this, oh, I'm not in the mood, or when the partner comes and they only get the kisses when the partner is horny. So it's like, oh, he's kissing me, oh, he wants sex. And it's like, oh, can't be asked. So what helped them is to schedule sex. To say once a week, twice a week, how often a week, but having those fixed dates and say, this is when we have sex, this is when it's going to happen. And what I find is that after time, after you first overcome that shyness about having scheduled sex, it turns out that many enjoy it and looking forward to, oh, I know now, tomorrow is the day where I'm going to have sex. And I do. How can I pleasure him? How can I pleasure her? And it also is great for the relationship because you talk more about your sex life. Or are you looking forward to tomorrow? I am. What shall we do tomorrow? What are you wearing? So it sparks the conversation.
It does.
And
that build up.
And many also report that there is more kissing just because both of them want to kiss, and they kiss without it meaning to be sex now. And that is such a relief. It frees your mind, doesn't it? When you don't have to think about, oh my God, I don't want to turn him down again.
Yes.
That I hear quite often this, when you feel guilty for saying no again, oh, it's been a week, it's been 2 weeks, a month, I can't do this. Now let's get it over with so that I have my peace and quiet for another couple of weeks.
Exactly. I think, I just had thought about something that's happened in my, with a couple of the clients that I've seen, is that the men complain that the women don't initiate. That it's always got to be them. And then when they do initiate, maybe she says, no, she's not in the mood. So then they get tired of initiating. So one of the things that I suggest, which works very well, is take turns to initiate. So whether it's you decide, okay, what is your need for sexual intimacy, whether it's once a week, twice a week, be open and honest about it, and then say, right, we're not going to put an actual day to it, but because a lot of people still enjoy the excitement of when's it going to happen, and to then say to the man, right, once a week you have to initiate it, and then once a week the woman has to initiate it, so that it gives you the power back of when. And the women really feel that, right, okay, when I'm in the mood, and they can prepare themselves mentally and initiate and maybe even take the lead in that intimacy for that experience. It is a way to just spice it up a bit, and so that both people feel that it doesn't always have to come from the one person. That also works really well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you can get shaved and get ready for the evening or for
exactly.
And it's not this like, oh my God, I haven't shaved for 3 days. Oh.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting to see how it turns into almost like a secret surprise. And it's fun. It's like a surprise for your partner. Surprise them by coming in after they've been outside doing whatever, or locking up the house, coming into you lying in bed with nothing on under your silk sheets and candlelight, and they know, right, it's happening. It's all about excitement and playfulness and having fun with it, and not making it the serious thing about, oh, we have to have sex. It's about reminding yourself that you can have fun, you can enjoy it. It's okay to spice it up. It doesn't mean anything bad if you are willing to have a little bit of role play, or have a little bit of a fun time with it.
Yeah, and I just want to mention, because it just popped into my head when I talked about the shaving, that women who say they don't want their partner going down on them because they haven't shaved. So I want to tell all of these women, like, if your partner wants to go down on you, give them the judgment if they want to do it, even if you're not shaved. And if they want to do it, just let them. Don't put it on yourself, or don't blame yourself, or don't shame yourself. Because if they want to do it, they do it. If they don't want to do it, they wouldn't do it.
Exactly. That's so true. I always say, don't decide for your partner. Don't decide for your partner that they are or aren't in the mood. Don't decide for your partner that who's on top. Don't decide. If a thought while you're having sex with your partner, if a thought comes into your head, go with it. That's what I always tell my clients. Don't overthink it. Just just let go and go with it. And that's how you get out of your head and into your knickers, so to speak, isn't it, Anna?
Exactly. Yeah.
So tell me, Anna, what do you think people you would, if you could give people some point of advice on getting in the mood, what would you, if you could help somebody that's listening this morning or this evening, in your time, this morning in my time, to get in the mood for maybe in the UK for tonight, or in China for tonight, because it's tonight for you, what would you say is a good start?
I would say, think about what you enjoy about having sex with your partner. Maybe it's the way they kiss you, maybe it's the way they touch you, maybe it's the way they look at you, or they handle you. What is it that you really enjoy? And try to stay focused on that, on the good things, on the pleasurable things, on those things that you really, that make you tingle.
Exactly. And remember how great you feel afterwards. How you relaxed you feel, how you've connected you feel. And often when I see couples that are going through a difficult time, and they say, well, we never have sex, but when we do have sex, we always say we should have more sex. So then have more sex. And allow yourself to enjoy it, and allow yourself to decide, just like you decide to not be in the mood. You can decide to be in the mood. And it is, even if it means that you need to go and have a shave, even if it means that you need to go and buy some candles, even if it means that you need to make sure the sheets are clean, if whatever it is you need to do to put yourself in the mood, do it. Because otherwise, the side of you, the nasty girl in your head or the nasty guy in your head, is going to find excuses.
Mm.
So eliminate those potentials of finding excuses.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a very nice podcast the other day, where they said that just like you are in your head telling yourself, I'm not in the mood, decide to pretend that you are in the mood.
Mm.
Because our unconscious mind is an amazing thing, but it can also be a bit of a pain in the butt. If you tell your unconscious mind, no, I'm actually in the mood. No, I actually feel really horny today. No, I actually am going to have the best sex ever tonight with my partner. And you start telling your unconscious that, it starts believing it.
Mm.
And the other noise, the one that's trying to make you not have sex, becomes a lot softer.
Yeah.
So just go with it.
Go with it. And what I want to add to that is just, even if you have 5 minutes amazing sex, that's still okay. You don't need to have a session of an hour. So it's the length of the sexual experience isn't depending on, or not the length, the quality of the sexual experience isn't depending on the length of it.
No, definitely. Sometimes you just need a quickie, and sometimes you need a long one. So it's all up to, in the moment, what goes, Allow yourself to have the variation,
Yes.
And don't have this, strict box ticking exercise in your head about what sex is, this expectation of what good sex is supposed to look like.
Mm.
As
Yeah.
long as you're enjoying it and you're allowing yourself to enjoy it, that is all that matters. Dahlia, she says, there's a bit missing here, but she says, how many depend on sexual understanding? Women need love and sex, but man sometimes just need sex. Is that true? A male goes anywhere, but woman has no place on why. Well, I think, Dahlia, we did discuss that earlier on in the session. I think you popped in a bit late, so maybe it would be good for you to go and watch the replay and see that. But there's men and women that are in that category. So it's all about, communication. That's what it boils down to.
Yes, communication.
Definitely. Okay, we've reached the end. We've reached the end. Thank you so much for today. Thank you, everybody who's listening. Please don't forget to comment and share the discussion if you think that you know somebody that might benefit from it. Next month, we'll be back with another surprise topic. Hope to see you there.
Yes, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
I'm going to push stop.